Now, my current role with Cox Communications is kind of on the lower end of the leadership. I am in charge of my shift, but I'm not the direct supervisor of the store. So a lot of what I would implement would be coming direct from my boss and my boss's boss. So I would have to follow what they're saying, make sure I'm doing it within their standards. Otherwise, I could create problems and rifts where I don't want them to be. But if I were in a higher position, I would like to implement the ability to, when something is brought down to me, not over exaggerate on how the numbers need to be reached. I know a lot of times you start up at the top management and they say, hey, we need to get these numbers up a little bit. And they're meaning they just need a slight increase. Well, then the manager below them or supervisor below them takes into account and says, okay, well, he wants this, so we're going to, we got to hit this number. And so they decide that they want a specific number. Well, okay, that's fine. But then it goes to the next manager below them. And that manager says, well, in order to hit that, we need to make sure we hit this number. And now they've just added a 5% increase on the number that they wanted. And then it goes to the following manager after that, and all the way down until it gets to the direct supervisors of the store over the phone. And by the time it gets to them, that 2% increase that the person up at the top wanted turned into a 25% increase. And if you don't hit it, it's potential for getting written up or potentially fired if you don't do it over a course of a couple of months. So a lot of times they over exaggerate what the leadership above wants, and when it gets down to the bottom, it gets amplified so much that sometimes it's an out of reach goal. And then they realize after a couple of months that what might have been an out of reach goal, so then they say, let's tear it back a little bit. And then once they do that, things go back to normal. But during that time period, it can be pretty stressful for the employees down below. Now, as far as the organizational leadership actions, again, I would say starting from the top, making a much more clear communication on how they want those actions done, how they want to get them completed, and have very specific numbers, and that's the numbers that they're looking to get. By having that clear response, when they go to the next level down, they know what they need to do rather than, oh, well, we need to get this number increased. Okay, well, let me make up a number, and then it goes from there. So once they have a clear number and they understand that clear number, they can take that down to the next supervisor down below. They get the clear response from that one, and again, all the way down. So they definitely would need to make sure that the communication when making a change like this is on point. That is going to be the best way to implement this a new system into the company. Understanding that there are going to be for the first couple of months, maybe even up to 6 months after the system is implemented, there are going to be system issues that are going to need to be understood, sent in, so that a tech team can go through and the programming team can go through and make sure that either they're fixed or that it's not an issue, that it was a user error, and any training that might need to be done gets done. So that is definitely something that could be implemented coming from the leaders up above. And then in the end, definitely recognizing the use of it, making sure that the team members below know that they are being seen to get their jobs done, and that they're implementing it the way that they're supposed to. So being able to get that from the bottom up, it's a pretty good feeling for those lower level guys that may not have been interested in the change, but by giving them that recognition when they do something right, now they are more likely to use it the way that you want it. Again, my name is Brian East. Thank you for listening to my my PowerPoint on organizational change process and the actions that would be taken by the leaders.